to stay. On your path the truth unfolds, guides will whisper, stories told. Let your journey now begin. In the magic, let's dive in. So tell me, what do the cards reveal? What's the truth they conceal? She's the high priestess with the key to every question that's haunting me. A lover's heart or a warning from the past. In the Terran's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place. In the tarot's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place. The moonlight glows, the veil is thin. Lunar affinity will call again. Thanks for walking in the light, where guides whisper pure insight. Until we meet, the cards will wait. Mystic whispers guide your fate. With every message our spirits send, for cosmic dreams our souls transcend.
Hey everyone, welcome in. How's everyone doing tonight? Thank you all for liking the live stream. I really appreciate it. We have some donations tonight that have come through. So if you want to get added to the list, go ahead and send those donations over now, because the wait is just going to keep getting longer. James, I just got your donation. You'll be added after Amy. Thank you, guys. Oh, Nat, that's sweet. Thank you. Oh, no, Amy. It's not good. Anita. Anita, I have a yes. The sun. This is for Amy. Amy, I have a no. The 10 of Swords. There must be something else going on. Sophie. I have a yes. Knight of Pentacles. Smiley, I have a yes. Queen of Swords. Ocean summer. I don't have a clear answer for you right now. I'm leaning towards a yes, but the card I pulled is a 2 of swords, maybe. And please refrain from financial questions in the future. That's part of my my rules. Gnats. Nat, I have a yes. 8 of Pentacles. I'm getting a yes. Temperance for Phoenix. Nannies, I have a yes. 6 of Cups. I think it's more about missing you, but yes. Yes to your question. Did you guys hear Nanny's profile picture reminded me? I saw an article yesterday about how Starbucks is closing, like not all the locations, but they're downsizing quite a bit and closing a lot of locations because they said that their like profits and stuff have just been on a decline, which honestly, good for them or good on them because I feel like supporting small business is better. Um, like my brother, he owns a coffee shop, and like I would much rather people go to him than go Starbucks. But I just found that interesting. It seems like there's a collective shift to shop small. And also on February 28th, there's actually a 7 planetary alignment that won't happen for another 15 years. And that's the same day that there's supposed to be a blackout, like all the people of America are supposed to come together and not buy anything from a commercial business on Friday. They're supposed to, if they have to buy something, to shop local, but don't buy from big markets on like Friday the 28th, I think it is. It's like no Walmart, no Target, no, because I guess the collective Americans are trying to make a point that our business matters and that we have a say in things. So I think that's pretty cool and pretty powerful. So if anybody else wants to partake in that, I would recommend it. I shared a little bit about it. It's supposed to happen in 2 weeks. It's just one day. Like, I think we all can stop shopping somewhere for one day, especially if it's like a big commercialized business. That's my personal opinion. Hey, Jazz, welcome in. Amy, I hope you feel better. Jazz, thank you for the donation. I'm going to update the list in just a second. Phoenix, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Are you, I hope you're okay now. I'm assuming you're okay now. Amy, no, don't say that stuff out loud. Don't manifest it. Just say your body is healing. Hey, Jazz, that sounds good. You're welcome, Amy. You're welcome, Nat. You said it's shocking, but not shocking. Starbucks is getting expensive. I agree. I agree, Ari. Yeah, nannies, they said like there was this article yesterday that talked about how there's a lot of like major locations that Starbucks is closing, and ever since COVID, they're having issues like keeping stores open. They said there's just overall been a decline in traffic and that they're not able to keep all their businesses open. So I don't know. I just saw one article on it. You're welcome, Anita. Sophie, like, like basically us as consumers, essentially just choosing not to buy from big box stores. So there's basically information that's spreading on social media to say, let's come together as the people, because the powers that be are saying that we don't have any power, but our dollar does hold influence. And if we are not shopping at big box stores and commercialized places like Amazon, things like that, then we can actually show how powerful we are, because what they care about is our money and they care about us consuming from them. And if we can show that we can sustain ourselves, or we can shop small business and we cannot support these gluttonous companies, then we can prove a point that they can say we don't have the power, but very clearly we do. And so there's a whole movement online that's talking about not like coming together in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from tomorrow, I think it is, and not shopping from big box stores and not like over consuming beforehand either. It's just one day. Like everybody cannot shop somewhere for one day. It's not the end of the world. It's not like we're asking you guys to go like a whole week or everyone to go a whole week without shopping from somewhere, although that would be pretty powerful. It's just one day. It's not like, you know, if you just buy as you need, but don't like over prepare, because that kind of takes away from the impact. But yeah, basically just not shopping at these stores on Friday the 28th. And from my side of things, I was just talking about how there's a very unique phenomenon that's happening with planetary alignment, that there's 7 planets that are going to be lined up in a row that we can see from Earth on that same day. And that's something that doesn't happen very often and will not happen again for another 15 years, I think they said. So it's just the significance of like the planetary alignment versus trying to align us as a collective in this mission. So me figuring I have like a micro platform to talk about it, I just wanted to get the word out there in case someone else was interested in joining in. You're welcome, everyone. Amy, I feel the need to tell you need to get like some like broth, like some type of beef broth or chicken broth or something like that. All right, let me go ahead and close the list. I've got about 11 more people to read for, but I'm going to close the list from here on out. Natty Nat, no, I have not done yours yet. Do I think I'll have a Valentine? Ari, I hope so. I am married. And he got me flowers today. Aw, I love that, Lorraine. You deserve those flowers. Thanks, Sophie. All right, Natty. Natty, that I got the Page of Cups. This is the messenger of love. It says, believe in the impossible. Sienna. Justice. This is a yes. Justice. Manor. Yes. 9 of Pentacles. This is something that's happening slowly over time, Manor, but yes. Ari. I have a yes, 7 of Wands. Self 345. No, Death and Rebirth. Not right now. The Space Cowboy. Yes, 8 of Wands. Lots of passion. Jazz. Yes, 9 of Cups. Ray, hello. Yes, 7 of Wands. Margaret. I have a yes, 6 of Pentacles. So if that's not what you want, take precautions. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome. All right, let me update the donation list. First up is I Speak. If you're not able to wait around for your turn, leave your question with me. The only person's question that I have that I know about is Jazz. I updated the list so you guys can see where you're at. You're welcome, everyone. Okay, Amy. Hey, Naisha. It's going well. I've been having some very vivid, eventful dreams. And I kind of, like, last time this happened, or that I talked about it, it was to Brennan, and I was like, I need these dreams to stop. Like, how do you stop dreams? You can't stop them. I was like, but I need them to stop because I am so freaking tired. Like, I feel like I just clock out of this life just to clock into another life somewhere else. And I don't ever feel rested, like, ever. Like, I feel like my mind is just going crazy. My body is like, let's get up, let's go, like, let's get things done. And my brain is like, I cannot. And I told Brennan this, and like the very next night I had like the best sleep of my entire life. I mean, drooling, like waking up in the middle of the night, drooling. Okay. Like, that's how deep of a sleep. I can't tell you the last time I've slept like that good. So I'm hoping by bringing it up again today, my subconscious will listen to me and shut it off, because I am so tired. Like, I need at least one good sleep a week. But the dreams are insane. And I've got people coming into my dreams I haven't even thought about this person in years. And this person's coming in. It's like all the people from my past are somehow coming into my dreams for some reason. And I'm like, get out of here. Like, I'm tired. So all that to say, I'm tired. Naisha, thanks for the donation, girl. No. That's for me. It's not for you. No. Go lay down. Get out of here. Go. Bodhi. Go away. Oh, I speak. You said you've been having the same stuff happening to you. I know. I'm like, please, dear God. Like, if my dreams were trying to tell me something, I mean, I don't think they're trying to tell me something every single night. That then, like, let me be, like, let me go to sleep. Like, if you got a message for me, that's cool. Send me the message. But I don't need these visitors. I don't need people from like 3 years ago or 10 years ago that I haven't thought about and like coming into my dreams for no reason. Like, get out of here. I don't like it. The air placements. Oh my God, yeah. I know I'm like subconscious, just shut off tonight, please. Like, I need good sleep. Um, I speak. If you want to go ahead and drop your question. Your sleep has been shitty, but it's your fault. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's probably my fault too because I go to bed so late, but I don't know. It's so crazy. You heard the songs called Slow Down by Bobby Valentino in your head as you were sleeping. It's a romantic love song from back in the days. You woke up at 5 a.m. this morning, you think, oh, you're like me. I'll wake up with songs in my head too, like something I haven't heard in a very long time. That's so crazy. And it's like, you don't know what to do with it, you know? Like, I don't know what to do with the information that I receive. I have been having dreams a lot about like new babies coming to this earth that are conscious. So like I've had two dreams. I've had one about my own future child that I have telepathy with. And it was like my child, my newborn baby was like speaking full sentences to me. And I woke up and kind of just assumed that it was like that we had a telepathic connection because my baby was like telling me things. But then I had another dream about my niece. My sister's pregnant, and I think it was about my niece that's coming in, and she's speaking full sentences to me and my husband, and then she kind of shifts back into like baby mode, and then it's like baby babble. And so I think that there's like a message of the new souls that are coming to this earth, and specifically in my family and my children, but maybe other people's too, that are more conscious. Like they're coming in very aware, and likely to remember like past lives and like just a lot of like maybe their being, you know, in the womb and the like being born and just like already coming out, just being able to like have full on conversations. So it's interesting and weird, but I had multiple dreams about that. You can't wait for your trucks to make you pass out. Oh my gosh. Well, Amy, leave your question with me in case you fall asleep, okay? Yeah, sleep routine and stick with it. That's interesting because they're definitely more conscious. It's passed on. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. So this could just be a message of the collective that like the new souls that are coming in are going to just be very aware. But I explained it to my husband that in this recent dream that I had, me and him in the dream were like talking to, I want to say it was my niece, my future niece, but I can't remember for sure because it felt like my nephew. But my nephew isn't a baby anymore. My nephew is 6 years old, and my sister's pregnant with a new baby. So I think in my dream, there was like this symbolic connection because I feel that with my nephew, that maybe with the new baby girl that's on the way, this was her. But basically, she would be having full conversations like, and it's very loving conversations too. Like the babies would be like, I missed you, or I love you, and I love you, and just very like loving and sweet kids. But I was explaining to him that like I would ask the baby a question and the baby would answer me like it was 7 years old, like having a full on conversation with me. And I remember in my dream, me and my husband were like, this is crazy. Like, how are you talking to us right now? And then the baby's eyes rolled back in its head and then opened their eyes again. And then they were back in like the baby babble form of like just goo goo gaga. But like it was like this baby could check in and have a conscious mind and communicate with us. And then when it needed to go back into like baby form, it would go back into baby form. And it had to do with its eyes that was like shifting them from in and out of consciousness. And as we all know, eyes are consciousness. It's our, as we all talk about our like inner knowing, we talk about the third eye. And then we talk about too how like angels have a lot of eyes and things like that. So definitely some kind of message like that being connected. I don't really know exactly what to make of it, but it's interesting. I Speak, did you drop your question? Did I miss it? I can't. I'm not sure. Kids are. Oh, I got. You said that's interesting, but so amazing. Yeah, isn't it weird? It's weird. And it's like, it makes me wonder. Oh, you asked why. I'm sorry, girl. I thought you were like basically saying like why did this tell me why this happened to me like as like a rhetorical remark, but you actually want to know. So let me look into that for you. I'm sorry. And then you're a BOGO too, right? Yeah, it was interesting. I have like a lot of dreams like this. Oh, by the way, guys, so like nobody knows I mean, I don't even know if my in-laws know, but my sister recently found out that she knew she was pregnant. I was the first to find out she was pregnant, but she was kind of keeping it to herself, so I haven't really talked about it to you guys. But when she found out that she was going to have a girl, the night before we knew what she was going to have, we did the pendulum test. Like the old wives' tale is if the pendulum over the stomach spins in a circle and it's a girl, and if it swings back and forth, it's a boy. And we're like, let's do it for fun and just see. And that was like it was a major circle, like a crazy circle. And my sister had a feeling. She's like, I think it's a boy. My nephew, when he first found out that he was going to be a big brother, he immediately, like, unconsciously said, it's a girl. And later he changed his mind because he thought about what he wanted. And that's like the perfect example of intuition versus ego, is like what you think first is your intuition, what you think second is your ego. So he said girl, and we didn't even ask him. We weren't even talking about the gender. He just blurted it out. Then later he said he wanted a little brother. So he had a little brother, or that he wanted a little brother. So everyone at this point, before we found out what she was having, was convinced that it was going to be a boy. But I still was holding on to the girl aspect because, number one, a psychic mentioned that we'd have a girl coming in outside of me. And then also my nephew saying that it's a girl. And then also me just feeling like it was a girl too. I've always like dreamt of my sister having a girl alongside me whenever I get pregnant. So we did the pendulum and it said girl. And I was feeling very, at that point, like uncertain, because I was like, everyone thinks it's a boy now. Now what if this is wrong? But it wasn't. It was right. So just letting you guys know that if you know anyone who's pregnant and they haven't figured out the gender, get a pendulum and see what it says, because this is the first time I ever did it, but it was correct. And so you never know. You never know. Obviously, the odds are 50-50, but I still think that was kind of crazy. Thanks, girl. I'm so excited to be an aunt again. Thank you, Amy. So yeah, I think you guys are finding out before my in-laws, actually. All right, why did she hear this song? Why did she hear this song? Slow down. You know, when I think of this song, Slow Down, it's the song by Paolo Nutini. That's the song that's in my head right now. But I can't off the top of my head think of this song that you're talking about by Bobby Valentino. I'm sure I've heard it, but it's not what's coming to mind. The song that's coming to mind for me is called Last Request. So maybe look up that song too. Now it's stuck in your head. Oh, thank you. I'm so excited. I thought that I would be the first to bring a niece into the family. Everyone's like expects me to have a baby girl. So it's going to be cool, like, if whenever that happens, if I do, because I'm hoping that they'll be close in age. If I have a girl and she had a girl, and then we can just be like little besties with our little girls, you know? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Thanks, Amy. I have your question. So I feel like your intuition, not the ex again. That's so funny. I feel like your intuition is right, because you were like, I feel like Spirit's going to say something about someone new coming in. The one thing that's really selling that point for me is the 10 of Pentacles. And this is the card of a husband. Like, living with that person and spending the rest of your days growing old together. And so I think that you're right. I do. I feel like this is your husband. I think the next person that you date is going to be the person that you marry. I have the King of Cups. So this is someone very generous and warm and wanting to make sure that you're taken care of, your emotional needs are met. This person's very emotionally available and emotionally regulated. They really know how to talk to you. They really know how to have a conversation. They could be also in touch with more of the creative arts as well. So you could be looking at a musician, an artist, a comedian, a creator of some sort, photographer, you know, that kind of whole vibe, like using that part of their brain. And I find that before we meet our person, we a lot of times will have dreams about them, and we'll get information about them as well. And I really think that you've gotten to the point where you really know what you deserve deep down. Like, I think you truly know what you deserve. And I think, honestly, you've always known as far as what type of person you should be with and what type of person you've wanted to be with. But I think that you're at the point now where you will not settle for less. And if you meet less, then you'll just move on. If it's not working, it's not working. Um, and I think that they didn't want this person to come into your life until you learn those lessons, because then it wouldn't be acknowledged or appreciated as much as it will be now. And so, could you go on a date or something like that? Does that mean like the next date you go on or the next guy you talk to is your husband? No. But I think your next serious relationship is your husband, is what I'm trying to say. So if you feel so good about someone and so like in love with how they are making you feel and how you feel about them, that you want to enter into another relationship, I think that will be your last. That's what I'm saying. Did you show a pregnant emoji? You're so funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it looks like you're wanting a family. I mean, and that's the thing about the Ten of Pentacles too, is it's the family card. So it's the children and the white picket fence and the animals and just basically living your dream life with that person and growing old with that person. I feel like this person's very deep and very intelligent. So, to summarize, you already knew the answer, but this is essentially spirit just trying to send you maybe confirmations that you're heading down the right path. And I remember saying in your last reading that everything you do for yourself, everything, like for instance, like you said, you bought yourself flowers. That's just bringing you one step closer to your next love, your romance that's coming your way, because you're taking the time to treat yourself with that love and respect. Then you're only going to attract more of what someone else is going to want to come in and treat you with love and respect. Oh, we have another Lorraine in here. Hello. Thank you guys for the likes. You're welcome. What healing message does Spirit want you to hear at this time? Hey Lorraine, my free list is actually closed. We closed it about 30 minutes ago. But I think if you want to come back maybe tomorrow or the next time you see me, as long as you get here within the first 15 minutes of me starting the live stream, you can ask a free yes, no then, okay? Yeah, as long as you're following me, then you should get notifications. And then you can just hop on when you see me. Good night. All right, so they're saying that they want you to continue to face your true north and take one step after the other. They don't want you to forge a new path at this time. They feel that the path that you're on is the right one. So it's not really necessary for you to like reinvent yourself or to change anything about yourself. They're basically saying like the path you're heading on is the correct one, that the universe is conspiring and to continue to face your true north. Astrologically speaking, your North Node might be a really good place to visit. Your Venus might be a really good place to visit as well. And they don't want you to waver or doubt. Like, don't put yourself in a position to question what it is that you're doing. If it feels right and it feels like it's putting yourself into alignment, there's no need to really try to do something different or try to do something that you're not already doing. I think that right now is the time to be gentle with yourself. I'm hearing like connecting with your womb as well. So this is interesting. Maybe spending time. Oh, that's so weird. Actually, now that you just posted the like pregnancy, was it the pregnancy emojis and like the family? So like doing things that connect you to your womb. There are like ways to where you can just like rest with your hand on your stomach. You can meditate into it. You can listen to like fertility music. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily trying to get pregnant right now, but you need to work on your womb, is what I'm hearing. Your Reiki healer told you to do this 2 weeks ago? Yes, girl. That is what I'm hearing for you. Womb healing. Wow, that's wild. Yeah. So like there's probably a lot of different like modalities you can do to heal your womb. If you're drawn to certain crystals that can align you with that, meditations, like somatic healing, things of that nature. But yeah, I'm hearing like you need to connect with your womb. Did she tell you like what you could do to work on that? Lots of like feminine baby fertility references because they're saying to take one step at a time, like baby steps. Like they're saying instead of trying to jump, oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Okay, that's perfect. I think that instead of trying to jump and get everything done and accomplished all at one time, they're also saying quote unquote baby steps. So just taking things little by little and eventually you'll achieve what it is you set out to do. Don't try to like jump ahead, jump to the end. Just take it one day at a time. And then before you know it, you'll be in awe of how far you've come. Movement is very important for you right now. Gentle movement. I know I got somatic healing. So I think doing things to kind of shake up the inside of your energy, but more specifically like releasing is going to be very important for you right now. Oh wow, that's awesome. So yeah, I feel like they want you to trust your path and just keep like moving forward little by little down the same path that you're currently on. Let's see. That's actually so interesting because I pulled the inner temple card and I also have like the Emperor and the Ace of Cups. And I feel like the inner temple could be your heart, but I also think it could be your inner womb as well. And it's talking about being devoted to that. Tuning into the portal of your heart. So they're talking about how if you're feeling called to develop like a regular meditation, journaling, chanting practice, breath work, so on and so forth, that's something that you should be implementing. It's like rhythmic though, is what it feels like to me. It's not so much like writing things down. It's very like rhythmic. It feels like dancing. It feels like breath work. It feels like vocal stimulation and singing and chanting. Like, I don't know. It feels very rhythmic to me is what I feel you're needing to do to connect with Mother Earth and with your ancestors, your feminine lineage. I feel like you're being very much like encouraged. Like I'm hearing drums, like drums and chanting. And I feel like your ancestors are calling on you to try to heal the lines, heal the lineage, heal, the future. And I feel like it's also important that they want you to know that this doesn't end with you and it's not all on your shoulders, okay? You're simply clearing the channel for the future to take over. So you don't have to feel that it's on your shoulders, like, because that can feel like a heavy burden. It's not just on you, it's on future lines as well. And it's not just on you, it's on your generation. So even in your family, like if you have any cousins or if you have any, I don't know if you have sisters or anything like that, but basically it's like they're saying it's not just on your shoulders. It doesn't end with you. So basically, like you have made the most progress that anyone of your ancestors have been able to do. And so with each person, it's like the torch gets passed. And so they want you to know that it's not just on your shoulders, that the torch is just on your generation currently, because you're activated. You're the generation that can still create children and still create future generations. But once you get into probably like menopause age, I would say they're passing the torch on to those future children as well. And if you never have children, your role is to be the aunt of those other kids, to your sister's children. If you have children, you know, your sister's job is to be the aunts of your children. And maybe they're asking if healing can occur through your sisters, that maybe that's something they would be encouraging at some point. Their focus, they feel, is on you right now, but I feel like they're wanting to encourage, you know, your connection to your sisters at some point. But they're basically saying that if you feel like the weight is on your shoulders, it's not. They're also working through your sisters. And if your parents have any siblings that have children, they are working on those cousins as well. So again, this is not your job to foster this communication at this time. It's not necessary for you to communicate with your sisters, but they're hoping that if you guys can't heal this, maybe your children will be able to heal this. Maybe your children will want to, meet up and heal the line, if that makes sense. That you have progressed the furthest that any of your ancestors have gotten, but eventually the torch will be passed from you to your daughter or to your son. And sometimes the healing doesn't happen for generations and generations, you know, like if you can't heal this with your sisters in this life, that's fine. Future generations will heal it and it will be okay. Sometimes when you said it doesn't end with you, I mean that right, exactly. Exactly. So you have your own individual journey, okay? That you're wanting to break abuse, break cycles and things like that in that regard, because you're saying, I will not tolerate it anymore. I will not tolerate it anymore. That is you healing any future generations, okay? But there may be something else that you don't get to heal in this lifetime that then your child will be able to, okay? Because you can't take away the experiences that you've had. You have had a lot of trauma with certain relationships, and you had certain trauma with like maybe your parents and your family and whatever else only that you can speak to, and you will stop it. It will end with you from basically perpetuating on to future generations. However, that sorrow, that grief, that experience still will live within you, but it won't live within your children. So then your children will have a different experience. They won't have the same trauma. Maybe they'll have another situation in their life that they feel that you weren't able to accomplish that they can then accomplish. And you're just cleaning up future generations. So what I'm saying is it doesn't end with you, is that the healing will continue. Maybe right now your focus is on interpersonal relationships. Your mission in this life is on interpersonal relationships. However, your future child might be focused more on the good of the world or the good of humanity, because you've cleaned up the interpersonal relationships. Now your child doesn't have those issues, so they can focus on other issues maybe outside of themselves. So that's what I mean, is that the torch will get passed, that it's not only on your shoulders to have to work through. And if it feels heavy and it feels like you're alone and it feels like your ancestors are only counting on you and no one else, I just wanted to bring peace of mind to let you know that they are trying to help you, but this doesn't end with you. This will continue healing, generations to come, basically. Okay? And they just don't want it to feel too heavy on you. And they're saying that what you're doing is good enough. It's good enough. And if you want to continue on past this even further and take it a step further, then you can do that too. But they don't want you to feel like it's all your responsibility. All right. And this felt like more like an ancestor reading versus like a spirit guide reading, but maybe ancestors needed to come through. So hopefully that helps. You said it's such a responsibility and it feels heavy, but makes sense. Yes. So I think that's why the message came in to basically say it's not just your responsibility. You're welcome. You're very welcome. I think sometimes it can take generations and generations before healing happens. So maybe that's a long shot. Maybe your family will never come together in this life, but maybe 3 generations from now they'll come back together again. Like I was learning about like my heritage, and there's a lot of synchronicities between like my family and my husband's family. My husband his family is the Armisteds, and he is not an Armistead, but his dad's dad was an Armistead, and Brennan's dad, his middle name is Armistead, and all of Brennan's family's last name is Armistead. That is a very well-known name in the Civil War. And unfortunately, Brennan's family was on the Confederate side. And I feel like we're doing a lot of healing, like in my relationship and his relationship, to kind of change that narrative or whatever. And apparently, one of the generals that's Brennan's direct lineage actually fought in Mexico against Mexicans, which is my heritage and my family. And one of the generals in that war, last name Perez, that was my maiden name. So there could be some connection between that and in my family. And for all we know, at one point, his family and my family were at war. Okay. For all we know, if we trace it back far enough, we probably could find out that his family and my family were at war at one point, and now we're married. And so it's very possible that our marriage has broken the cycle. Our marriage has rebalanced karma. Our marriage and coming together in love cancels out our families coming together in war. Like, you never know what's going to happen. You never know, like, what future generations will hold. And his family, he's like, basically, he comes from a very like famous family. Like I think it's like my husband's great uncle or something like that, was actually the general that was on the base that created the Star Spangled Banner. And so it was basically like his orders to raise the flag influenced the Star Spangled Banner to be created. So Brendan comes from like a very like prestigious, like historical family. And so do I, but our families were on opposite sides. And so it makes me think to myself that it's very possible that like him and I coming together have maybe healed past karma that was done in war. So it's interesting. It's really interesting to talk about it. But it's like us coming together. Like back then, you probably never would have thought it. A Spanish man marrying like a white, or like a Spanish woman marrying a white man. And, we were at odds a long time ago. So it's interesting. And so like basically my whole reason to tell you that is that maybe your family will not be healed. Maybe this is the war that's happening, but you never know. 3, 4, 5 generations down the line, your children's children might want that connection with your family and might say, hey, our family didn't get along before, but what does that have to do with us? We can still come together and we can rebalance the karma. So I also don't want you to feel too bad about your family either, because even if you guys can't figure it out in this life, your future children's children might actually be able to heal that for you. So just keep those things in mind as well. Thank you, Philomena. You want to post your question for me? So you said, wow, that's insane. You can help your family heal by healing self, but you cannot force it. Sometimes the best you can do is pull yourself away from those who are not good for you, even if it's family. That's true, Jano. Definitely, definitely. Maybe so. That's so interesting. I try not to feel bad. Boundaries are important. It is. The boundaries are very important. And like I said, I would never want you to put yourself in a situation where you feel like you are betraying yourself just to make something work. So maybe it's not your mission in this life to heal every familial relationship, but maybe that's just not your responsibility in this life. Maybe your responsibility is to focus on you and just creating a more harmonious life and future and creating your own family traditions. And letting your ancestors kind of work through your sisters and or your cousins individually, because we all each have our own individual path. And you also never know what's to come either in the future. Well, thank you so much. I love doing that reading for you. That was awesome. So Philomena donated again. Let me check Cash App. Did you send it on Cash App, Philomena, as well? It hasn't come through yet. Can you just make sure that it's that you push the send button? Good night. Have a good night. We are shuffling for you, Philomena. Oh, no. Philomena, are you able to request it back from that person or no? Okay, I got it. Okay. Should you give Mario another chance? Let's see. Wow, I'm getting a yes. Wow. I have Ace of Cups, Queen of Cups. I think you should be open to it. I do, according to these cards. I mean, Ace of Cups talks about opening your heart, and Queen of Cups, in conjunction with the two, is just feeling like you should give someone another chance. You should feel open to do that. These are also yeses. So in like a yes or no reading, this would be a yes card. He did you really dirty. I see you kind of I see you kind of closing off your heart to this idea. Four of Pentacles, like this person is keeping their feelings and their cards very close to chest and not really wanting to open up, not really wanting to give back to this person. But I'm getting a yes in the cards. Why would you want to give this person another chance? What would make you want to see about doing that? Like, do you feel like you should? Because I'm wondering why the message is yes if he did you dirty. Hey, Amy. Philomena, I'm not sure if you heard my question or not. I was just curious that I'm trying to understand why I'm getting a yes in terms of giving this person another chance. If this person did you dirty. So I was trying to figure out like why you would want to do this, because I see you here with like the Four of Pentacles kind of keeping your cards close to chest, keeping a wall up. Nine of Wands is like feeling like this person like left you with some open wounds and like potentially feeling dissatisfied about this person maybe having your guard up or a wall up, and maybe potentially not liking how things ended. So maybe wanting to see like a different ending potentially to this story. But it sounds like to me, according to these cards, that maybe you're not ready to fully walk away from this person. Like maybe you wanted to see it play out in a different way. And I feel like Spirit saying yes just indicates that you haven't like learned what you needed to learn from this person, and that it would be worth exploring the connection again just to see if you can get a better understanding. You said he messaged you apologizing, but you feel like he would do it again, so you told him that it wouldn't work. Yeah, I mean, if you feel like, well, here, this is what we'll do. We're not going to ask, should you give him another chance? We're going to ask, if you gave him another chance, would it work out well? Because sometimes Spirit thinks that if you haven't learned your lesson, that you should go back to that person so that you can learn your lesson. Because if you're still open to the idea of being with someone, it means that you haven't gotten them out of your system and that you still have some work to do on yourself. And maybe Spirit saying like if she wants to go back, to tell her to go back, because clearly she hasn't learned from this. So let's actually ask that if you were to give him another chance, would this work out for your highest good, and see what kind of outcome we get with that question. All right, if Philomena were to give Mario another chance, would it work out for her highest good? would she be happy in this relationship? Would she be happy in this relationship? She be happy in this relationship? Would you ever consider... Well, no, I don't think... What is this message? Would she be happy in this relationship if she gave him another chance? You know, I feel like Spirit's being confusing on purpose. I feel like they don't want to give you the answer to this. I feel like they feel like you need to make this decision for yourself. What could she expect the relationship to look like if she gave him another chance? What would the relationship look like if she gave him another chance? What would the relationship look? Oh, there we go. Okay. So you will be walking away. You'll be walking away from this person. If you give this person another chance, it's not going to work out, is what they're saying. What would their relationship look like if she gave him another chance? Headache, conflict, arguments, disagreements, disappointment. There we go. There's the answer. So they're saying that you would eventually walk away from this connection if you gave it another chance. They're saying that if you were to enter a relationship with him again or give him another chance, that it could potentially benefit you and benefit your highest good, because it would make you a stronger, more resilient individual. It would make you learn and grow and maybe become more empowered, because you'd be able to tell this person no, to walk away from them, and you would figure out that you don't need this person. But if you can learn the lesson the easy way and just not go back to that person, then that might be less heartache for you, is kind of what it feels like. But basically, I asked, if you were to give this person another chance, what would the relationship look like? And I got that you would be leaving. You would be walking away. So you have to just determine for yourself, do you want to give this another chance knowing that it's not going to end well? Or do you just want to skip it altogether and try to find something else? Because I feel like what they're showing me is that this will not work out. You will eventually move away, move on. Six of Swords, Eight of Cups. He said, yeah, you already told him you can't be with him. So did he take that well? Did he accept that answer? Or do you think he's going to keep like messaging you? Naisha. Okay, that sounds good. Drop your questions, girl. We're trying to work through this list. Hey, Jazz. It's okay. I have your question. I think everyone's falling asleep right now. He messages you thinking you've forgotten about what he did. So, like, every other month he does this. And you tell him your feelings still haven't changed. Ooh, Philomena. It sounds like you probably should block. What is your second question, Philomena? Asia, I have your question. Thanks, girl. My second question is a guy I went on a date with 10 years ago, came back into my life. I started working at my job. Oh my gosh. Wow. What are his intentions for coming back into my life? That is crazy. When you say what are his intentions for coming back into your life, do you mean like did he do this on purpose? Like is he working at the same place as you on purpose to try to talk to you, or are you wanting to know like what is the universal significance of this person coming back into your life? Like, why? What does spirit have to say about this person coming back in? Because I'm trying to understand, do you want to know like what is it you're trying to find out exactly? Because what I'm getting is, I don't think that this person came back into your life and started working at your job like as an intentional like long game. Like, I think this is a matter of circumstance. Like, I don't think this person was plotting to get back into your life, if that's what you're asking. Yeah, okay, good. Why he came back in. All right, good. Because that's what I was picking up too. You say you don't think he took the job because of you, and that's exactly what I was getting to. So I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Why is this person coming back into Philomena's life? Why is this person coming back into Philomena's life? Why is this person coming back into Philomena's life? So I feel like this is more of a synchronicity more than it is like there's this profound plan for you guys to come back together. Now, there's a reason it didn't work back then. And it's probably that reason would still stand today. But 10 years is a long time. And think about the person you were 10 years ago versus the person that you are now. A lot could change. So this might just be the universe's way of opening up another opportunity for you as well. We do have the Four of Wands in reverse right next to the Ace of Cups. So this is kind of indicating to me that there's nothing that will really happen romantically, at least right away. I think that... Oh, you weren't ready for a relationship back then. Yeah. And like, you guys are probably completely different people. I think this is more so a slow burn. I think that if anything romantic were to happen between you guys, it wouldn't be something that happens right away. The Ten of Pentacles here talks about a history, knowing this person for a long time. But the Ace of Cups also makes me feel like there could feel like there's a greater meaning behind this. And I think more than anything, it's a synchronicity to tell you, Philomena, that you are on the right path, to remind you of your past that you didn't want a relationship and now you do. So it's almost like you're catching up with your expanded or higher self, if that makes sense. Like, it's basically like a token of a reminder of the past. So like, before you didn't want a relationship, now you do, and now this person is coming in, and this person you could have had a relationship with, but you weren't ready, and now you are. So it feels like it's symbolism. It feels like more like a synchronicity, more like a little gift or a message from the universe that, you know, you have overcome that, and that now you're looking for, you know, a way to settle down, someone to have a true relationship with. Hello, those of you who are just now joining. We're in the middle of donation, so I haven't had a chance to like address anyone individually, but welcome in. So yeah, like I said, I don't think it's some grand conspiring in order for you guys to be together. Like, seeing this person again doesn't necessarily mean that this is who you're meant to be with and the universe is putting him back in your path because you weren't ready before and now you're ready now. It doesn't necessarily mean that. But again, free will is at play. So like, if you wanted to and he's single and you are, and you guys decided you wanted to do something, I think you could make that happen. But I think it's like a slow burn. I really do. I think it's like, we're going to get to know each other, but on like a slower pace, like a slower level. Like, I don't think it's necessarily something you're going to jump right into, because the Four of Wands in reverse is basically like, we're not taking things to the next level right away. We're just going to kind of hang out as who we are now and kind of see where this goes naturally. I also have the Seven of Cups. So this is like, this person may have multiple reasons of being in your life, you know, to provide support at work, to provide a friendship with you. Maybe they needed like a better paycheck, so they're there as well. They needed a more stable job, so this is benefiting their life. Maybe also it's a way for you guys to see if there is something that's still here between you guys. Like, the Seven of Cups basically indicates like, him coming back into your life is not just for one singular reason. There's like multiple reasons why this person is working at your job now. So that's what I have, Philomena. If you want to add on, like if you have a follow-up question you want to add on for, let me know. And if not, then I will move on to the next. Oh, he wants to hang out next week. That's fun. I think you should. Yeah. No, but I don't mean that either. I just mean that, like, there's the Seven of Cups is basically saying that there's not one singular reason why this is happening. It's like multifaceted. All right. So for those of you who are just now joining us, my free list is closed. I put in the title of this video that it closed at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. So that's a little over an hour ago. If you guys want an opportunity at free reads in the future, definitely make sure you stay subscribed. And whenever you get a notification that I'm live, come in immediately. I offer free yes, no readings the first 15 minutes of every live stream. It doesn't matter if you've been here before or if you're new. I will answer it as long as the list is open. But as of right now, tonight, the only thing that we have left for an open list is donations. If you're interested in donating for a yes, no reading, it's only $5. You can click the link in the pinned comment of this chat. Donate via PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App, $5, and I will answer that question for you. If you want a yes-no question but a little more elaboration, you can donate $8, and I will do a mini reading for you. If you're interested in any other pricing options that I have, you can take a look at the description. All right, so I think that might have been all for Philomena. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next person, which is Amy. Amy said she took some sleeping medicine, so I don't know if she's in here or not, but she did leave her question with me, so I'm going to get to her in just a second. Remember, everyone, donations are still open, but they probably will not be open for very long. I have donations for as inexpensive as $5 options for yes no readings, all the way up to $35 for a curated channeled first person message. Last call for yes no readings before I close the list. Culture, I got your donation. Thank you. Thank you, James. Hey, Tina, thank you for the donation. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Yay, you're still awake. Oh, you want to skip the line? All right, let me move you up. Hold on. All right, that's the updated list. He said, or you'll fall asleep tonight. It's funny. All right, that's the list. PTS next to Tina's name because she said she paid to skip. Tina, thank you for letting me know about that as well. Last call for donations, so I'll probably be closing the list pretty soon. This is for Amy. A mini reading, mini love, option 2 on Aaron. What do you need to know regarding him towards you? Okie dokie. Let's take a look here. James, I got your question. Thank you. All right, girls. So this situation's kind of in limbo. You guys don't have any blocks or influences, which is why I think maybe it wasn't necessarily that you like rubbed him the wrong way, but it's maybe a little bit more abrasive because you're very direct with your energy. Maybe he's not that way, and so maybe it didn't rub him the wrong way. I don't think it offended him. He could have been put off by it. Like he could have been like, oh, okay, you know. But I just don't think he necessarily understands your like way of flirting just yet. But I don't really want you to feel like discouraged about that, because trust and believe, if anybody was going to like scare me away, it was Brennan on our very first date, and I was still interested in him. So if you want to know more about that, I'll tell you, because it's kind of a funny story. But basically, like, I don't think one kind of like abrasive, maybe like joking kind of like way about you is like this one incident. Like, I don't think, as long as you're not mean moving forward, like you don't, I don't think it was really mean. I think it was kind of playful. But at the same time, like, I don't think one thing is going to really turn this person away from you. So that's why I think when you ask the yes, no question, it was like, no, because I don't think that. But I do think that this person feels like you guys are kind of in this like weird, like limbo place. Right. So it's like, I feel like he's grasped enough of your personality where he's not like completely turned off or anything like that. I think that it was more so just he's not really sure how to take you. I feel like he's not sure if you're interested, if you're not interested. I just feel like he doesn't really know like what category to put you into. I think sometimes he feels that you are flirting with him, and then I think sometimes you like are viewing him as like a friend. And so I think he just doesn't really know like what to do with that information, if that makes sense. So he kind of feels like he's in this like limbo stage as of right now. I think also he's got like a quirky personality, but I think he's a very like analytical type of person as well. And so I think that he's taking things for what they are at face value rather than how you're making him feel, if that makes sense. So being direct with him is not necessarily a bad thing. I think to him, being direct with him could be a good thing, but it might make him take what you say very literally. So when I say limbo, I just mean like he doesn't know if you're flirting with him or if you're like just trying to be friends with him. I think he doesn't really know how, because you're the way your personality is you like giving people a hard time and joking and stuff, even if you're interested in them. But I don't think he really understands that. I don't think I think he sometimes he feels like he's getting mixed signals from you. Like sometimes he feels like you're interested, and then sometimes he feels like you're not. And I think that might be because of your sense of humor and your style. I think that you come across more like it might be a defense mechanism, because you don't really want to put yourself out there all the way. So you would rather joke and be kind of like playfully mean than like really risk putting yourself out there and getting hurt or getting rejected. And so I think that that's coming across to him a little bit confusing because like I said, he has a good sense of humor. I think he can be really funny, but I also think that when it comes to like romantic interest, I think that he takes things very literally. So it's like I think he just doesn't know how to take you is basically what I'm saying. I feel like he doesn't really know if you're being nice to him as a friend or if you're being nice to him as a romantic interest, if you like him like that, or if you're just being just a friend. Like, right. So Amy, I think maybe laying on more like the playful charm versus like being coy. I think you have to be direct with him in a very obviously flirty kind of way. So for example, if he was like oh yeah, I think you want to go out with me, and instead of you being like you wish, you just be like, yeah, I really would love to see you more. Do you get what I mean? Like being direct in a very like obvious way rather than like making him feel like you don't like him. So because I think for you, like you would be like, yeah, you wish. I think that's what you actually said to him, if I'm not mistaken, or something along those lines. And so I think instead of doing that, like, so for instance, when he said what he said to you in that screenshot, you could be like, yeah, I can totally see what you mean, versus like, you wish. Like, I feel like you're so used to being like that playful mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. But do that once he's certain about you. Do that once he knows, once you've made it clear that you're interested in him romantically, then you can play with him like that. But I think in the beginning, it just is confusing because he feels like he's getting mixed signals. But like once you guys are established, like once you guys are going on dates, then he'll know that you're interested in him romantically, and then you can be more yourself in that way. But it's just like, imagine if like every time you said something to a guy to try to see if maybe he would be playful and flirty with you, and he shut you down every single time, you would be confused because you'd be like, I thought he was interested, but then when I'm flirting with him, he's like shutting it down and treating me like a friend. I don't know what to make of this, and that would be very confusing. So I think once it's established that you're interested in him romantically, then you can be playful with him like that. You said you were being too flirty. No. I think like I think that conversation could have gone a different way. I think because he's trying to relate to you, like in that conversation, he's trying to relate to you by saying that's like him. You could have been like, oh yeah, I can definitely see it, and then maybe complimented an aspect of that picture versus him that like you can see how it relates or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to be or tell you how to flirt, but basically, I feel like at this point, he just doesn't know what to make of you yet. And so that's what I mean by like his thoughts and feelings and intentions are like kind of in limbo. I think he wants to see where this is going to go. He was leaving you on memes you were sending him, not just saying anything. Yeah. And like the thing is, Amy, is, you know, you don't want to turn him off too soon. But what I will say is that if it's meant to be, it will be. Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense, Amy. I think just like don't worry about flirting right now. Just be yourself. And if he's engaging with you and if he's asking you questions and he's communicating with you, then I think just let him do that and just like be honest with him rather than like worrying about the flirting. I think right now it's important that you guys just get to know each other, you know? Cuz that might be a little bit hard for him. I don't know, I can kind of see from his perspective like he's a little bit confused. But I think it's okay to also let him take the lead too. You don't have to be the one to do all of that either. And I see him, he's a bit guarded as well. Because he's the Seven of Wands and the Nine of Wands in terms of what he thinks and feels about this connection right now. And he's kind of just standing there. Like, I don't really feel like he's contributing too much. He's kind of just being quiet and kind of keeping to himself and maybe coming across a little bit guarded. Yeah, so I think, and you know, you have the best case scenario, Amy, as well, because you have mutual friends in common. So I think by like talking to your friends to see if maybe they can, he does. He does keep his cards to himself. I see that. So just maybe like at some point just being like, "Hey, like if one of your friends that's mutuals is like a girl and you're close to them, you could be like, "Hey, I thought Aaron was kind of cute. I don't really know much about him though. Like I would love to get to know him more, you know, if he was interested in that and see if maybe your friends can maybe foster you guys to come together cuz it's like sometimes it can be a little bit much in the beginning and you want to click with this person. But yeah, as far as intentions go with um, the hanged man kind of talks about maybe needing to see other aspects of you. Like he needs to see like who you are fundamentally. Like I think he's only gotten like minimal exposure with you. And he wants to see what else you're about without the pressure of like, is this a romantic relationship or not? Yeah, that makes sense. And I think also listening to your guy friends too, it's also very important. There was one relationship that I was in that I wish I would have listened to my guy friend because my guy friend was like best friends with this guy. And instead of me listening to my guy friend who was trying to basically say, get out of this situation, he's not good for you, I didn't listen and it definitely bit me in the ass. So I think just talking to, you know, Brando, getting more information about this guy. And I think also, too, is that you want Aaron to also be expressing interest in you as well. You know, you kind of want it to be mutual. I think that there will be another group where you guys will get together. And I think just kind of letting it play out. Like I said, if it's meant to be, it will be, and there's nothing that's going to stop you guys from being together. So it's not like you have to completely change who you are and change your whole personality. But maybe just kind of like letting him take the lead at this point. Maybe it was just too much at one time or something. You know what I mean? Y'all, this full moon has got me crazy. I'm 2 hours into this live stream and I feel like I should be almost done by now and I'm not. Yeah, I think you should let him take the lead for sure. Just do more things on social media that's like enticing for him, that he may have something to like comment on. So like post more stories where you're giving him more content to respond to, and then seeing if he reaches out to you in that way. And also you'll also see like if he's looking at your stories, if he's interested. And I feel like too, the way that Instagram algorithm is that if you're looking at people's stories the most, they make those like at the front of the line. So if you're looking at people's stories a lot, then they push them to the beginning. So I'm sure there's people that I like, if I brother watch my brother's stories all the time, for example, and his is like always at the beginning of my list. So you'll notice as well that if he's watching your stories a lot, then Instagram is pushing you out to his feed a lot more often and he's taking the bait. That's like a indication that he's looking at your stories a lot if you see him consistently watching, you know? Okay. Yeah, so just put trust in the universe that if this isn't your person, it's not your person. And if it is, it will be. And I think just go from there. Naija's laughing. Were you laughing? And I was like, I feel like I should be done by now. This full moon has got me in such a weird energy tonight. I don't know what is going on. Like, time is flying by and I feel like I'm talking so slow. Yeah, Amy, I know. It's always nice to have like a new love interest. But you want to have a love interest that's interested in you just as intensely. And so like that's what I want for you. I want you like kicking your feet and excited for this person to call you and like talk to you on the phone and stuff. Like I don't want it to be another connection where it's like pulling teeth. So I really want to see this guy starting to show more interest in you and talking to you more, getting to know you more, you getting to know him. I want to see that mutual effort because I can't ship this relationship until I start seeing that, you know? I want you to be like, oh my God, he's blowing up my phone. He likes me so much and I'm so excited. Like that's the kind of relationship that I want you to have. Yeah, I got you, Amy. I know. I'm also noticing a pattern here of the types of people that you're interested in. You're welcome. Okay, so next on the list is James. Let me update the donation list here. Oh no, sorry, not James. Sorry. Tina. Tina paid to skip. Tina, are you here? Amy, I hope you feel better. I'm so sorry you're not doing so well. All right, that's the list, guys. The donation list is closed. All right, Tina, in depth with Brian the Sag, a work friend. Not sure if there's potential for more than friends. Hey, James, sorry about that. Tina paid to skip, but you're next after this. You should be next. Oh, so he thinks very highly of you, Tina. Like, I think that he speaks kindly about you when you're not around. If your like name is brought up or something like that, I think he speaks very highly of you. I think he notices when you're not there. I think as far as his present energy and actions, I think he's really not sure. The Knight of Swords is here and the Two of Pentacles. It makes me feel like there's times where he wants to act impulsively and maybe I don't know. I think there is something here, but I just don't think it's enough for him to make a move. Like, maybe it's the work element. Maybe he just doesn't want to get involved with someone at work or something. But there is something that holds him back from maybe taking this to the next level. And it talks about how he has like he tempers himself from acting impulsively or acting hasty. Maybe he's like one day like I'm attracted to her and I like her and like I think maybe something could be here, but then like the next day I change my mind. It's almost like he isn't actually quite sure himself how he views this connection. And I think that whatever this is that's holding him back, it continues to hold him back. Hey Val, all of our lists are closed for the night. I'm so sorry. Let's see. What is his present energy? What is his present energy? I think that he views you as like a very warm and inviting person. Oh, okay. He looks like he's a very creative person. So like, yeah, he's speaking well of you even when you're not around. So he's probably putting a good word in with the company about you. Maybe giving you a shout out whenever it's possible. He feels he enjoys it. He enjoys you being around. He enjoys spending time with you. But as far as like actions go, I just really don't see him doing anything about that. We have the Four of Swords, which is like quiet, keeping to himself, not really taking any action. We have the Nine of Wands, which is like basically him keeping like you at a distance. We have the Seven of Cups, which means that he has a lot of different thoughts about you, but he hasn't quite landed on any like action. So one thing he could be thinking about is asking you out. Another thing he could be thinking about how that affects his job. Another thing he could be thinking about is he thinks you're cute. And another thing is, but I'm her boss, you know? And so like the Seven of Cups just basically means that you are focusing on like multiple different options at one time. And so like this could paralyze him in making a decision. We also have the Tower here, and so this talks about feeling like if he were to make a move, then something in his life would probably fall apart, or it would be like a big, I don't know, because the Tower, it talks about change. It talks about how things could feel risky. Things could feel like you're taking a chance and maybe everything will collapse. Like he's probably thinking to himself, the optics, this may not look good from the outside, and this could really affect like my career. Potentially not wanting to show favoritism would also be important to him as well. So he continues to stop himself from pursuing this connection further. Do you have follow-up to this question? And no, you don't have to donate anything else. You donated plenty. I do think that he feels connected to you, like he feels like this is an unexpected connection that he's pleasantly surprised with, but it's like he can't do anything about it. What will his future actions be? I feel like he's not going to take action towards you outside of your job. So I think what you can expect from him is him because he's not, again, here's the thing. He doesn't mind giving you favoritism if it's completely work related and well deserved, but he worries about perceived favoritism if you guys were to enter a relationship and everyone else thinking that you're getting special treatment. So what's going to happen is he's keeping himself separate from you, but how you'll see his interest is might be recommending you for things. He might be putting your name at the top of a list for a promotion or for a raise. He might be saying your name at meetings or highlighting something that you did well and giving you that accolade or that acknowledgement. I feel like he's mostly going to just be doing work-related things to try to help you out financially, monetarily, in good spirit of your work environment. He might be offering, you to leave early some days, or for you to get extra vacation time or something like that, versus actually asking you out, because I don't think that's something he's ready for right now. So I think your future actions from him won't be outside of the workplace. I think it will be within the workplace, and he might be like spending extra time near your desk or having conversations with you or going out of his way to like see you. But it feels all connected to work is what I'm getting. I'm also getting this is a weird message, but he like dresses up for you. Like if he knows he's gonna see you or spend a lot of time with you, it's like he's making sure he smells good, making sure he looks good. Like I think this is important to him to come across in a way that impresses you. I struggle feeling confident in telling you that he's going to be asking you out. He may even like try to make sure that if he might try to throw like work parties that he knows you'll probably attend, so that way you guys can spend more time together. But it's like, it just doesn't feel, it feels like it's always with strings attached as far as work is concerned. Tina, I hope that answers your question. Thank you for your donation. You said intuitively you get that he has interest. You absolutely respect his boundaries. You were just really surprised that some other readings mentioned a love offer, and you wanted to see what my reading would say. I think he's still beating around the bush, Tina. I do. Now, if you don't like this answer, you can always influence things with your own free will. So maybe instead of waiting for him to approach you, you could confront him, and you could be like, is it just me, or does there feel like there's chemistry here between us, or is this just in my head because I kind of feel like I've been getting signals from you, or something like that. You could always change the trajectory by approaching him more directly. But I think that if you just continue on this path of waiting on him, this is what I'm getting for you. And it doesn't mean that the other readers are wrong either, because the love offer that they're mentioning could be talking about his interest for you. And like I said, he does teeter back and forth about it a lot. Like, he does think impulsively sometimes. Tomorrow I'm going to ask her out, and then that day comes and he chickens out and changes his mind. So that love offer could have actually been really truly on the table when you got that reading, but then he changed his mind and then it went away. So I think right now, I think he's just on the edge. I don't think he's fully on one side or the other. And I think there is interest in you and respect for you and admiration and appreciation for you. Like I said in the reading, I don't think it's enough for him to do anything about it right now. Yeah, but you're very welcome. Okay, so James, it's officially your turn. So you want channeled message, love to, and then your BOGO. So James, I'm going to go ahead and get started on your channeled message. You said true, he is a Sag. Okay, thanks again. You're welcome. James, so I'm going to work on this for you. Working on James. Channeled message. All right, let me throw this on the screen. So guys, if you're in here waiting for your reading, it's going to be a little bit before I'm able to get to you, hopefully within the next 30 minutes or so. And then, yeah, we're going to knock these out as quickly as possible. I'm working on a message for James. How this works is it's not like a normal tarot reading. I'm actually writing a channeled message down that I will be sending to him. And this can take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes for me to get this done. And then we'll be back on to the tarot readings after that. So I won't be talking. You won't hear me for a few minutes, but I am here monitoring the chat if you have any questions. Culture, I have you on the list as the last person I'm doing a reading for. If you want to leave your question with me, feel free to do so, or stick around for your turn. That works too. Hey, Culture, thank you. I got your question. James, I'm having a hard time getting information from her tonight. Whoa, I just saw an orb. That was weird. Just bear with me for a little while longer. James, I'm going to. I don't think you're gonna like this at all. I'm gonna send you this message. Just know, I'm not gonna read it out loud. I'm just gonna like send it to you. But I feel like she's getting to the point where she's starting to block me. It may just be tonight, or it may be indefinitely. But I feel like I'm getting resistance all of a sudden. And it's like she's not offering anything of substance. Like, I feel like Like, for instance, I feel like last night she felt more happy, more positive, and more upbeat. And it felt like she was trying to bring like a nice closure to this channeled message. But then it's like tonight she feels like we're taking more than we should from her. Like she's like, what do you want from me? Like that's like the attitude of the evening. So I feel like she's kind of like, look, I was nice and now I'm going to start getting mean if we keep doing this. Like, that's what it feels like to me. Like, I feel like she doesn't want me pulling on her energy anymore. So, I don't, like I said, I don't know if this is just tonight. Sometimes I get those blocks. It is a full moon. It's a feeling of like needing to release. We all can get a little crazy on the full moon. It does affect us. So maybe that's just her position today. But, you know, I don't know. I think that if I keep getting this feeling from her, I'm going to want to like back off of channeled messages for a little while. But anyways, I sent it to you. Let me get your love to prepped real quick. Love to Maddie and James. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad that I prefaced it like it was worse than it was too, you know. Maybe I kind of softened the blow a little bit. I don't know. It just feels like she's just kind of like, oh my God, leave me alone. Like that's all I feel from her is just like, leave me alone. Yeah, bad roots that went dead. So, like, I guess what I took from that was that it didn't start off good. Like, it wasn't even a good good circumstance. It wasn't good environment. It wasn't like imagine like a plant, you know, you want it to flourish, and if you start off with like a good seed and the roots grow and it looks good, then you might have like a fruit, like a fruited tree or whatever. It felt like she was just saying like it started off bad, like it didn't start off on the best of foot, like you guys were already at a deficit as it was, and then it just got worse. That's what I took from that. Like basically like you guys just didn't have ideal circumstances. Like, you didn't even get an opportunity just for this to start off well. One thing that I want you to know is that it may feel like she's in a hurry to get away from you. Like, it may feel like she's just like off living her own life and she couldn't get away from you fast enough. I think from your perspective, that might be what it feels like. But I feel like in her mind, she's doing this very, very slowly. I don't know. Maybe you felt it was slow. Maybe you felt like it was a slow death or something. I don't really know what you think, but she's not in a hurry to get away from you. It was never about like getting away from you as quickly as possible and like never being in your life again for her. For her, it was as long as he's in my life, this is how I want it to be, and I don't want more than that. So distancing herself from you has not been this like, oh my God, thank God I'm away from him. I don't think it's ever been like that. I don't think it's ever been like, because I don't think she would have kept herself around. I don't think she would have entertained you. I don't think she would have communicated with you and all of that stuff if she was in a hurry to get away from you. She really dragged it out. So, if you're feeling that way, if you're feeling like now that you guys aren't communicating, she's like, thank fucking God. Like, I could not get away from him fast enough. That's not her mindset. Her mindset is, I am moving forward and I am pacing myself and I am trying to do it gracefully, but I'm making mistakes along the way. And I feel like for her, in her mind, she exhausted all options with you. She tried her best. She gave it her best shot. This is her perspective. And maybe you feel the same way. Like, you gave it your all and, it didn't work out. But I want to be clear that even though she's not seeing this as a romantic connection for her right now in this life, it doesn't mean that she's like completely grossed out by you or thinks that you're like disgusting. She may think you're despicable because of the things that you've said to her, and she's turned off by that, and she's like, couldn't believe you could say these things, but whatever, that's her problem. But I don't feel like she's completely looking at you as this horrible human being, and she just like is just like disgusted at the sight of you or the thought of you. I don't think it's like that. I really do feel like she felt a connection to you, and she was trying to see how long she could drag that out. Not drag it out, but she was seeing how long you guys could stay friends before it got to that climactic point of, we can't go any further unless we make a decision. And I think that climactic point was, you were willing to be friends with her for a little while, but you didn't want to do that forever. And when you got to the point of you were tired of being treated a certain way and like not knowing where this was going, then it hit a head. And then you guys had to like decide to jump in and into a relationship or completely separate. So you thought she wanted to separate from you, but really she was just trying to pump the brakes, is what I'm getting. I think she was just trying to slow it down. Like, I think you thought separate and she thought, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay? So like, if you saw her one week and you wanted to see her again later that week, she felt as if she saw you the second time, again, this is an example, that maybe you would get the wrong idea. So she said, let me pump the brakes and say no this time. Whereas you were seeing it as she had no reason to not see you. She just was trying to get away from you. She was seeing it as, I'm just trying to not like make this seem like it's something that it's not. So if you're getting her gifts and you're courting her and you're trying to take her out and you're trying to take her to a show, you're trying to meet her at work or whatever, she thought that she was giving you the wrong impression. So I feel like well, that's the thing. That's the thing, James. She didn't want it to get to a romantic place with you, it sounds. So she was trying to stop that from happening. So she was happy with the pace it was going. She was happy with it. You weren't. That's where we came into a conflict. I think that's what it was. James, truth be told, I really think that you would have seen her a lot more if you didn't have romantic interest in her. I think if she thought that you just wanted to be friends with her, which I know you didn't, but I'm just saying like a blanket statement. If she thought you just want to be buddies with her and you weren't interested in something more, you would have seen her a lot more. She would have spent a lot more time with you. It was the romantic element that she was not comfortable with. It wasn't you and it wasn't being friends with you that she had a problem with. It was the underlying always there romantic interest from you that was keeping you at a distance from her. So like these might be messages from her higher self that I'm getting, but we're not answering that question. We're doing the love 2 right now. So I'm just going to let you know that as far as intentions, she's just going to keep doing her. We have no influences or blocks. 8 of Cups. Her back is turned to this. And she's continuing to, even though she could easily reopen this door with you again, even though she knows if she sent you a text that she could start this back up again, she has the key to open that door. She says she's not going to. I feel like the overall energy, Page of Swords, is kind of just taking up new interests and maybe distracting herself from this connection right now. Let's take a look and see if we can get any more messages from her higher self. You said it's like if you took a step forward, she went and took 2 steps back. Like that was her way of pacing this connection. If she felt like it was getting too romantic in nature, like if it felt too much like a date, then she was like, all right, now I gotta pull back. And so it was not what am I trying to say? It was not an accident. That's what I'm trying to say. It was not an accident that this was happening. It wasn't a coincidence that this was happening. There it is. It was intentional that she was doing these things. I agree. I definitely agree. And was she leading you on? 100%. 100%. Her higher self is saying she should have communicated this to you. Ace of Swords clarified by 2 of Cups and Knight of Cups. She should have vocalized this. She should have been honest. She should have said, James, as far as it stands right now, I have absolutely no interest in having a romantic relationship with you, and I do not foresee that changing. If she had said that to you, then everything that happened from that point on would have been your choice. She should have allowed you to have a fully educated choice. You know, if you're going to continue to pursue her knowing that there was no option for a future, then that would have been on you. But she didn't have that conversation, and I feel like her higher self is saying, I should have communicated that with you. I should have been upfront with you. Being a human being is not easy, and even though I was like 99.9% sure that I wasn't ever going to enter a relationship with you. I should have been upfront with you on that. But there was that 0.1% where I felt like maybe. And that wasn't enough, and that wasn't fair. That wasn't fair to do that to you. Like, I like spending time with you. I like hanging out with you. I just didn't like the pressure of feeling as though this had to go somewhere romantic. That's not what I was looking for. Right, James, right. And I mean, I think moving forward, that's just a red flag. Like, saying that you have feelings but you have to work on yourself, that should be a full statement. It should be like, okay, got it, moving on. Because someone saying they have feelings but they need to work on themselves, that might be true, but that leaves this like opening for you to feel as though you have a chance one day. And I think because, James, you heard that from her, it made you feel like you needed to stick around. It made you feel like, well, if I separate from her and I let her do her own thing and we don't continue to build this connection, then someone else could come in, and when she's finally ready for a relationship, they could beat me to the punch. So I'm going to continue to foster this relationship and wait for her, because maybe she'll see that I'm for her if I prove to her that I'll wait for her. And now moving forward, if someone says, you know, I have feelings for you, but I need to work on myself, now you can use that as an excuse to get the fuck out of town, to get the hell out of Dodge, because that right there is a huge red flag. Exactly. Higher self, from messages, her higher self, she's saying, I'm encouraging myself to go within the depths of my own psyche. So she's working, like, it's like her higher self or her higher knowing or expanded self. She is encouraging current Patty, this version of Patty, to go into deeper depths, like deeper areas of her psyche, to kind of like withdraw from maybe not so great attributes of herself. So her higher self is basically saying, like, I am working with myself. Like, I am trying to help encourage myself to work on these subconscious things that affect me. Higher self says to you, James, if I can't make myself happy, how can you make me happy? If I can't even make myself happy, how could you make me happy? I think that her higher self also appreciates and respects what you have done for her, and pretty much is like, you don't deserve the version that Patty is now. Like, it's almost like her higher self, there's like three. So like Patty's current version and then her higher version. So we'll call it current version, higher self. It's like her higher self is saying to you, James, you don't or Patty's current version doesn't deserve you. That's what I'm hearing. Patty's higher self is laughing at Patty's current self, actually, at how dull she's being, like how dense she's being, and how unaware and unawake she is, at maybe how much you could have taught her. Even if you guys didn't end up together for the rest of your lives, Patty's refusal to see the lessons that were in front of her when you guys were connected is like just a detriment to Patty. Like, higher self is like this bitch talking about current self Patty. Like, just thinking it's absolutely asinine and comical that Patty is not recognizing these things for herself. All right, Patty's romantic future. So I'm hearing same lessons, James. I'm hearing same lessons. So they're sending her, and this is like feeling like deja vu. So I think I might have said this before, but they're sending Patty the same lessons that she still has not learned. And they're basically going to send her a romantic interest that is just like an ex of hers. That they're going to look different, they're going to talk different, they might have different interests, they're going to come across differently, but at the fundamental root of it, the lessons that she needs to learn from this person are still there. So they're basically sending her ex in a new form through a new person because she has to learn these lessons that she still has not learned. Yeah, James, I know. The thing is that we can't force someone to want something that we want. Like, if she didn't want to be with you, she didn't want to be with you. And I know that hurts. That is the way life is, though. That's why there's something called an unrequited love, is that, like, I mean, there's people that I have had a crush on that didn't have feelings for me. There's people that have had feelings for me that I did not reciprocate those feelings. Like, I mean, it is a part of life. Like, you're lucky when you find someone who's just as into you as you are into them. But that's not the norm. That doesn't always happen. So I think that if like you weren't, like, let's just say if someone was interested in you and you weren't interested in them like that, would you just give it a chance? Would you just try, even though you weren't interested in this person? Would you just give it a chance because this person is so into you? If you had no attraction at that time, if you had no romantic interest, like, would you date them just for the hell of it? I don't think you would. And I think that that's Patty's point, is that she wasn't interested in you in a romantic sense, like the way that you were interested in her. So why would she give you a chance? Yes, there was history. Yes, there was a connection. Yes, you guys had the foundation of knowing each other and being easy and familiar to each other. But if she had no cognitive interest in dating anyone romantically, why would she date you? That's the part that like is hard to see from another perspective. Right. No, James, I'm not saying she wasn't. I'm not saying she didn't find you attractive, okay? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I'm sure she found you attractive, I'm sure she was like, he's a good-looking guy. But what I'm saying is that if you didn't feel it, if you weren't interested in a romantic relationship with someone, it doesn't matter if they're the hottest fucking thing to walk this earth. If you don't want a romantic relationship and you were like, I am not interested in that with this person, but this person wants it so bad with me, would you be with them? Probably not. Because for whatever reason, you're holding yourself back from experiencing that. So for you to say, like, why wouldn't she try? Yada, yada, yada. It's like, because she didn't want to, She didn't want to. It's like she didn't care to see how good of a boyfriend you were. She didn't care to see, like, how awesome you guys would be together. I mean, at this point, it's very clear she just didn't care. And so, like, you again wanting to be in a relationship with her and wanting to, like, prove to her, see, this is how good it can get. But you're like, again, still trying to prove yourself. And I don't think you should have to prove yourself. I don't think you should prove yourself. I think people should just see the value in you as it stands. You shouldn't feel this, like, need to, But anyway, you said you get what I'm saying. So in regards to her future, she gets sent basically an ex-boyfriend, okay? So, like, the exes that did her wrong, she gets sent that in a new meat suit, okay? This is a new person. This is like a new, maybe even physical appearance, a new, maybe they have a different job, whatever. But this is someone who interests her romantically, which means that it's probably going to be years down the road. But this person is here to teach her the same lessons that she has yet to learn when it comes to these types of relationships. He is going to come with the same challenges. He's going to have an ego. He's going to want things his own way. He's going to march to the beat of his own drum. He's probably going to let her down, break promises, disappoint her, and she's going to grieve this connection. So, that's all I can see right now is that she's going to be sent basically the same type of person until she learns the lesson. If she doesn't get it in that relationship, it's just going to keep happening to her over and over and over again until she figures it out. Then at that point, when she realizes, I actually want the nice guy, I don't want the asshole, I want the nice guy, then it may or may not be too late for you guys. You know what I mean? Yeah, it always felt like you were having to prove yourself. Exactly. He said, no matter what I did, I was never going to be good enough, or it was twisted into something negative. She would give meaning to things I did or said that were just a projection of herself and her insecurities and past experience with men. I was never going to fair look. And I think also too, James, that was like a defense mechanism as well, because she was using it as a way to keep you at arm's length, you know? Hey, Jazz, did you get ghosted by Karen, the woman you met on vacation? Oh, yeah, I'm getting a yes. I have the Ace of Wands in Justice. I also have the 10 of Wands, which talks about feeling a heavy burden, the need to walk away. In this deck, it also talks about like carrying on or moving on, carrying forward. I strongly feel, Jazz, that this is like a crisis of identity with her. I think that she felt something real with you, and she just really felt like she wasn't sure if she was ready to enter into a relationship for whatever reason. She felt a romance with you. I have the Knight of Cups, so like, you know, all the romantic feelings, candlelight, flowers, roses, rose petals, that kind of vibe. And she felt a lot of comfort with you. 9 of Cups talking about feeling like her wishes were coming true. But I think when she took a step back and she went back home, she started having some type of like crisis. She started having these feelings of needing to like reanalyze things for her life or something, or it would require her to confront some things that she wasn't ready to confront. The Tower and the 9 of Wands. The Tower talks about the need for change and transformation, and her guarding that, her saying, I'm not ready for this change. I'm not ready for this transformation. I see here with the 9 of Pentacles, she's going to be single for a little while longer. She has not forgotten you. I'm getting that she has not forgotten about you or forgotten you in general. She still thinks about you. I asked, will you hear from her again? And I got the Magician. This is a yes for me, but it does indicate that this will be on her terms. The Magician is basically saying that it's her free will that will decide. But I do think you'll hear from her at some point, but it might be too late. It might be down the line when you've moved on and she's trying to apologize and trying to explain to you like what happened to her during this time and why she never reached out. All right, next up we have Nyasia. Nyasia left her question with me. We have a BOGO. Oh gosh, Nyasia, what did you do? Oh no. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, you know what, girl? You're always one for taking risks, and guess what? You always land on your feet. You're like a cat with 9 lives. Let's just see. What does Nyasia need to know? Was this a good idea? Was this a good idea? They are saying that this is not the plan that they would have chosen for you. So this might set you back a little bit. It might take a while to see some things fall through for you. 7 of Pentacles. Is this going to be detrimental? No, this is not going to be detrimental. So they're saying this is a small snafu, you know, it's a little hiccup and you did what you felt was best. I think that your spiritual team, in order to protect you, would have wanted you to have something in place, but they're saying that it's not going to be detrimental to any future plans that you have. It may set you back a little bit, but it's not going to be the end of the world. What does she need to know about this? Will she secure another job? Will she secure another job? They're saying you are going to secure another job, but it's going to, I'm hearing almost like schooling first, or education or something like that. So I don't know if you're going to end up going to school, and maybe your boyfriend will be supporting you during this time. But I have the Page of Swords, and that's like acquiring knowledge. They're saying you're not going to get a new job immediately. It's going to take some time. 4 of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. I asked if it will be a better job than you have now, and I got a yes. 8 of Pentacles. They said, the Fool's in reverse, they said, you really took that trust fall into the universe, didn't you? You just fell and said, universe, catch me, because I can't with this job anymore. Things will balance out. We have Justice card. You'll get your justice. I don't know if you plan on having any children, but I see like mom boss here with the Queen of Pentacles. And we have the 7 of Wands indicating a challenge that you will overcome. So it may be a little tough for you for a little while, Naija, I'm not going to lie. But I think that you'll brush yourself off, pick yourself up, and it'll be okay. Found a new small town to move to. It's about 3 hours away. Should we purchase a home there? Spirit, can you give any guidance? Would it be a good idea for Naija to purchase a small home there? Naija, we should look into your astrocartography as well, just to double check. So I love to use astrology for questions like this. So send me your date of birth, your location of birth, and your birth time. Sorry, I got a little confused. Aja, scroll back a little bit, babe. I did it for you, but it was probably like 10 minutes ago. I can't remember exactly. Yeah, check back about like 10 minutes probably. And you'll should be able to figure out where it started. Let's see. You're welcome. So yeah, Naija, don't forget, send me all your birth chart information, like your location, time, and date. And I will look into astrocartography for you as well. And that will be free of charge. But I just want to like look at your lines to see if you have any lines going through where you're planning on moving. If you trust me with that information, of course. If you don't want to tell me where it is, then ignore this and we don't even have to worry about it. But if you trust me with that information, I can look into it and I can tell you what I'm seeing. So just let me know. All right, so I am getting a yes in terms for planting roots here. We have the Emperor. So this is definitely like a person of like authority, taking charge, setting foundations, aka a house potentially. And then we also have the Magician saying this is a good idea for you. This is a good start for you. We have the 9 of Pentacles indicating, why am I hearing that this is a more affordable place to live? Like it's more affordable. Like I understand the small town charm, of course, but for some reason it seems like it's also like a better place for you to go, just like financially for some reason. The Nine of Pentacles indicates hard work paying off, so I think this is good. I'm also seeing like getting more in touch with like yourself in this location or something. I don't know. I want to look more into that with astrocartography. I really do. But this could be like getting back to like basics, getting back to the earth, maybe growing your own food, that kind of thing. Let's see here. We do have the Pentacles, which talks about things being brought back into balance. Maybe feeling more inspired at this location. It feels good. It feels good. It really does from a spiritual aspect. But again, I want to look at an astrological aspect and just make sure all of this is aligning. Because if your astrocartography is like, hell no, don't move here, then we've got to figure out what's going on. But I feel like they're saying you're getting warmer. Like, that's that game where it's like you're getting colder, you're getting colder, you're getting warmer, you're getting warmer. I feel like Spirit is saying you're getting warmer. Like you're getting warmer. You're getting closer to the idea of what they want for you. So Nyasia, that is what I've got, girl. Remember, just send me an email or a message on Instagram if you want me to look into the astrocartography for you. I hope you're sleeping soundly and getting good sleep. And I will talk to you next time. Have a good night, friend. All right, next, last but not least, we have culture. All right, culture. Let's go ahead and get started. If you're here, let me know. If not, no worries. We're going to go ahead and shuffle. Hey girl, thanks for checking in. You said, outside of work, what are you being called to focus on? So I'm hearing declutter. They want you to focus on, and this doesn't necessarily mean literally declutter unless your space, you're like, oh my God, I have too much stuff. I need to get rid of it, donate it, sell it, whatever. Then take that message. But this is also like a decluttering of the mind. The first thing that came through is the Five of Swords. This talks about a lot of like mental tension and conflict. That could indicate something that manifests in a physical form. You could get a lot of headaches, sinus pressure issues, things like that. But they're saying that they want you to declutter yourself so that you can be feeling more inspired. We have the Ace of Wands. So they're saying that they're trying to send you like spirit or ancestors or just like basically our guardian angels. They're trying to send you inspiration. They're trying to show you areas that they want you to focus on, and they're asking for you to free your mind, clear your space, so that way you can understand the inner knowing of what it is they're trying to send to you. This would be a great encouragement for you to take more nature walks, get out and breathe the cold air, meditation, just essentially things that can clear your mind and things that you can do mindlessly that will also help for divine guidance. So for example, it makes sense literally and otherwise, that's good. If there's something that you like to do that can clear your mind, like for example, I really like cleaning. Like I will clean and like watch TV or listen to podcasts or whatever. But even if I'm like distracted by something that I'm listening to, I do feel like things kind of just come in because I'm doing something mindlessly. So it's like if you're doing a task that you do over and over and over, and you know that expression, I can do this with my eyes closed. those kinds of tasks, leave yourself open for divine guidance. And I believe divine guidance can come to you directly, or it can come to you through a commercial on TV, or it can come to you through a song, or it can come to you through inspiration on a podcast. It's not necessarily, I feel like our spiritual team, they utilize like everything in our world to try to get messages to us. But basically what they want you to do is try to engage more in activities that are mindless, things that don't require a lot of brain thought, and get back into your body. So if there's a dish or a recipe that you can make with your eyes closed, do that. It doesn't require a lot of thought. It's not a new recipe. Cleaning, decluttering, just mindlessly doing things, taking a walk, doesn't work. Just the things that don't require a lot of like mind work, I feel like they're really, really wanting you to focus on, because I feel like you're getting messages, you're getting signals, and I feel like you're missing them. And I feel like they want you to see the wonder in the world, and they want you to believe that they're sending you messages, because then you're going to start seeing them. It's like what you think about, you bring about. Law of attraction. What you start paying mind to, what you start noticing more, and more messages are going to start coming to you. They want you to feel more clear. They don't want you like holding on to stuff that you don't need anymore. Just get it out of there, get it out of your house. Like imagine how good you feel when like you pack something up or put something away, or your space feels clear. Like that's what they want you to do. Maybe literally, but also mentally. Okay. They're saying that right now is not necessarily the time for socialization. Don't distract yourself by going out with friends and family constantly. They want you to get back in touch with yourself right now. So spending time on your own, spending time alone is what they want. How long do you want her to do this? How long do you want her to do this? How long do you want her to do this? I think so. That sounds amazing. Yeah. How long do you want her to do this, please? Oh, wow. Okay. So basically, I know this sounds kind of crazy, but they want you to do this until basically spring starts. I'm hearing like daylight savings. So when does spring start? March 20th. Okay. So for basically the next month. All right. They want you to really just take the time to be with yourself, be on your own, listen to things that inspire you. It's like they don't want you to get influenced by the outside world. They want you to come to conclusions and like figure things out for yourself. Oops. Does that help? Also, when you notice, like, oh, another thing, you remember I was saying that when there's like a lot of tension in your mind, I said, yay, March 20th. I love and need alone time. That's good. Tension, headaches, sinus pressure, but also like jaw related things like mouth pain, teeth grinding, lockjaw, things like that. They're saying that there's like something going on with your head, your mind, that might manifest in physical ways as well. That they're saying that if you can work on these things for the next couple of weeks, that this will help alleviate some of the tension that you're feeling. Okay? Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I know that you were waiting for forever. So many of y'all were. Almost 2 hours. My God. But we did it. Yay, we're done with the list. Thank you guys for such a great night. I will be back tomorrow. So make sure you come back and see me. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your night. culture, thank you again, and I will see you guys tomorrow.